I grew up in a two-parent home. Everything was good that I was aware of up until the age of 6. Things started to go downhill fast and drastically. My mother started doing crack. My father divorced my mother prior to her doing the drugs. And that's really where the downfall came. It got so bad for my mother with her addiction that she would leave my sister and I at home for days on end. Sometimes she won't come home before the food run out. It's this one guy that we looked up as an OG in the neighborhood that whenever the ice cream truck would come through, he would buy ice cream for 20, 30 kids at a time. And I seen him and I said, hey man, me and my sister hungry. Can you help us out? He was like, yeah. He went in his pocket, gave me $10. I went to the store, got us something to eat, we was good. He did that on 3 different occasions. On the 4th day, he said, look, you need money. I need assistance. You got a bike? I said, yeah. He said, take this sack, take it over here, don't look in it. You're gonna receive another sack. Get that sack, bring it back. Don't look in that sack. And I give you $10 every time you do it. And that kind of like spiraled into me going into the streets of a life of crime. At first I was doing a lot of petty little crimes and stuff like that, robbing freight trains, running up in stores. But as I got older, the more involved and the more that I personally handled business for the OGs. And that just encouraged me to do more violence. Once you start that, then it becomes a part of you and you actually thrive off of it. And you got your homeboys telling you, man, good job, man. They praising you. That's just fueling you. I continue to do more horrific crimes. I end up committing a murder, and that's when everything in my life changed. In the joint, most people, and I'm not knocking them, turn to God immediately when they get locked up. Most people looking for hope immediately when they get locked up. I wasn't that person. I was the individual that was constantly seeking, what else can I take from somebody so I can be elevated? And I didn't grow up in the church, so it wasn't something that I gravitated to. I just seen it as something far-fetched, something not for me. So when people came to me, I didn't really care. How can I embrace a God that didn't help my family, that allowed my family to go through all the things that they went through, even myself, the horrific things? I knew for a fact that this life was something I didn't want, but I didn't know how to go about doing that. 2017, I met Miss Lori. Stuck her hand out, and this a little bitty, short, little white woman. She said, you going to church with me tonight? And when I got there, they was having service, and they was already singing and worshiping and stuff like that. And the Spirit awakened in me. A feeling I ain't never felt in my life. Let me know that my next step was to embrace God. I did get saved and I started reading the Bible. That's when a lot of stuff started to come clear about what is expected of me. You gotta forgive others before the Father forgives you. And I'm not even gonna lie. At that time, I still was adamant about revenge. I'm so grateful that God had allowed so many different people to come at me from different angles, because he knew what it was gonna take for me to turn my life over to him and actually forgive. I feel like I'm forgiven because of the way that my life is. I've been doing 27 years. I've been bitten for a long time. And I can call people right now to this day. And when I call, I'm more upbeat than they are, and they on the streets free. God giving me joy after joy after joy every day. God has shown me now that in the last 2 years that my life is with him. This is an opportunity for me to completely embrace God and surrender myself wholeheartedly to him. Me going underwater and dying again symbolically is an opportunity for me to say, God, I'm yours. I know that God is real because he took me from a menace to society and he's created me to be an asset to society. And he's showing me you will have a fuller life if you embrace me. And I'm taking that on because I believe him.